Yeah, hi there. These comments are for TXF. I'm just using your initials for privacy purposes. And you completed my independent writing practice test number 38. And I am Michael. I am the founder owner and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. You're also one of my students at California State University, San Bernardino, in the English language program. So I just read your essay. So I think I have good and bad news here. The good news is you definitely have a pretty good organization. I have some suggestions on how you can more clearly frame your topic sentences. But overall, you're definitely making an argument and you have a pretty good connection of ideas. Now on the other side, you do have some problems with word choice, sentence structure, verb tense, and a few other areas that are making it sometimes a little bit difficult to understand what you're saying. But you're a good writer, no doubt, right? Now, your score here, let's take a look at the rubrics here for a minute. I think if you score in the 4 area, I think you're not quite there, and I think your paper fits more here. I'm kind of struggling between 3.5 and 3.7 right now. So as it says here, sometimes it's difficult to understand the connection of your ideas, or you have somewhat developed explanations. You have some problems with sentence formation and word choice that makes your ideas and meaning unclear. So I'm going to put you right now at 3.5, 0 out of 5, 22 points out of 30. Now for the purposes of our class, you probably want to know your grade here. This is going to put you at 82%. Now let's talk about one problem you can easily solve, and let me give you an idea here. Okay, so you have your thesis here where you say athletes and entertainers usually become representative topic in people's mouths, however, because athletes and entertainers must face high risk, they must compete with thousands of rivals every day, and must curtail their behavior in order to keep their radiant face. I think they deserve their high salary. So then you have to look at your topic sentence and say, okay, how do I make this topic sentence here connect back to that thesis? Now you say, first of all, athletes and entertainers have no choice but to only face the risk of bodily injury. But what you're doing is you're stating more or less a fact, but how does that relate back to why they deserve high salaries? So then you say something like this. You might say something. Then you have that. Now what I've done here is I'm trying to take part of your topic sentence and then make it connect back to the question. It makes sense. If you're asked this question, do you think they deserve such high salaries, and you want to make an argument, then it makes sense that you would create these topic sentences that restate the argument that you are trying to defend and you've already mentioned in the thesis. So if you made changes like this in your topic sentences, in your body paragraphs, you would connect even better, I think, the different ideas back to your thesis and ultimately back to the writing task. So you see what I did here? Let's look at it one more time. First of all, athletes and entertainers justifiably earn their lucrative salaries because they have no choice but to face the risk of bodily injury. So then you give an example. When you get to Yao Ming, so that's a good example that shows how he faced bodily injury because of his job, right? So I think that supports that. So what I'm saying is, if you went through each of these paragraphs and you connected those topic sentences a little bit better, I think you would have better organization. Now you also have some word choice issues that you have to work on a little bit, right? So let's take a look at this final paragraph. And I'm going to go ahead and edit this one. I hope you don't mind. Now remember that there are 1,000 ways to edit writing and some of the errors that you have. I'm just giving you one of many, many ways. So first of all, last but not least is a little bit wordy. So let's get rid of that. Say lastly, as public figures, athletes, and entertainers have to sacrifice their freedom partly in order to keep their best figure on people's eyes. This is a big issue here. Because you have as, which introduces a subject and a verb. It means it's a dependent clause, which turns this sentence into a fragment. However, if you get rid of it and you just say subject here, public figures, athletes, and entertainers, just say, instead of have to, say sacrifice their freedoms partly, don't need a comma here, partly in order to keep their best figure in people's eyes. That's how I would change that and say, for instance, instead of saying when they, just say when facing interviews, maybe say these celebrities are not able to say everything they want. When they leave their training or filming location, they have to wear some special clothes to conceal their identity. Nice use of the semicolon. Wow. That was good. Very good. You say when they're tired and meet some fans, they must cost extra energy. How about this? They must spend extra energy to look care of fans' mood, but not go to bed to relax directly. This is killing you right here. I can't exactly figure out what you're saying, right? This is one of the reasons why, and you have sentences in different paragraphs like this, but you're having some translation issues that are making it difficult for your audience to understand what you're saying, and that's going to put you below the 375. So they must spend extra energy, maybe, to take care of fans' moods, and then say, and therefore you might say something like this. Say, you see what I'm doing here? What I'm trying to do is, you don't want this to happen, is I'm trying to figure out what you're trying to say. I'm trying to rewrite it, but I may not even be rewriting it in the way that you want it, but I can't exactly catch your meaning, so I'm just guessing. So when they are tired to meet some fans, they must spend extra energy to take care of fans' moods, and therefore are not able to relax much before going to bed nightly. Everyone knows freedom is the most precious thing in people's lives. However, you need a semicolon there. And what does them mean? Them means freedom, right? You already used partly, so to a degree. So then you might say this, however, athletes and entertainers give it up to a degree in exchange for higher income. I would just say it like that, and then you don't have to use that second sentence there. All right, so this is just one paragraph of changes that I might make. So if I go through your different paragraphs, there are a lot of word choice problems, some problems with getting the right word or the right sentence or the right grammar to make it fit in there. So that's why when we go over to the actual rubrics here, you do have some problems with sentence formation, word choice that makes your ideas and meaning unclear, right? You have an accurate but limited range of sentence structure vocabulary. So what do? I would say you can study, you can benefit by improving your vocabulary. If you go to the vocabulary part of my course, you can definitely learn more vocabulary, but this is a long-term goal. Maybe over the next 3 months, if you can learn the vocabulary in the vocabulary part of my course, you'll definitely improve your ability to communicate. You can also stay focused in the grammar part of my course. You already know based on your pretest which areas you are unfamiliar with and work on that a little bit. But I have to say that you have pretty good control of your punctuation. I was pretty impressed with that. All right, so in conclusion to this particular video, your score here is 3.5 out of 5, 22 points out of 30, or 82%.